Yo, 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 yo. Echo, 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 echo. It's your boy Jason Gooner. We're back again, people, in the building. It is week 33 EPL review show. We're back for all the recap of the 10 games that were played in the weekend. Of course, you know the people that predicted. We have the results. We have the results in, people. We have the results in. So we have the champion, and of course, yeah, sorry. Somebody has to be the donkey of the week. We have the top five race discussion again, people, because you know I made my predictions of the top five. We're gonna see how the predictions them look. Yeah, first week not so good for my predictions for the top five, but a lot more football to play. We're going to talk about that. And of course, the FPL check. If you play FPL, you know it's getting down to the wire now. If you're in leagues, you have the cup competition coming up. So we're going to check in with the FPL, see how the FPL them look. And yeah, we have a couple more games still in the FPL week, so we can see what I have to look forward to as well. But yeah, if you're new to the show, please, new to the channel, please consider subscribing to the channel. If you subscribe to the channel, definitely you won't regret it, especially if you love football, because this is a place where football reigns supreme. Everybody who know, them know the thing. Go Red Skull, big up yourself, like up stream and share the content. People, make them know, make them know. Skull, me never see you. I never see you for the prediction, bro. Where did that? Where did that? Float management, blessings, 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 blessings. Midnight show, night owl show. Yeah, man. So it goes sometime, brother. Had a full day today, family, everything, settings, beer things. So yeah, we forward, we can forward, bro. But yeah, it's the show because each week we do the predictions week before or the night before the first kickoff, and we do the review show the night of the last game. So today, Forest and Spurs played, and that was the last game. So now it's show time. So we have to bring the review show in at the evening time, and some people are gonna see it live because later, so it go. And I can watch it on the replay. Whoever they are now, we are gonna hold our vibes in the night. Yeah. All right, people. So make sure now smash the like button, share the content as well. You see it around on the screen. So yeah, it's a real thing. Share the content, like the content, and subscribe if it's your first time seeing Jason Gooner TV. All right, so let's get right into it, people. The first matchup of the week. It was a very action-packed week, and the week started off with a big one in terms of goals. 4-2 Brentford over Brighton. So, look, people, you know, Jason Gooner is a Jamaica Reggae Boys fan. So, whenever Brentford is playing, we're checking for Ethan Pinnock. But this, sad to say, people, is the third straight game we haven't seen Pinnock starting. So, I want to know what's really going on. Ethan, as you know, he represented for us in the Gold Cup prelims against St. Vincent, right? And if you look at his matches here, excuse me, when he came back from the international break, he played that first game against Newcastle, right, at a 6.8, played well. And then against Chelsea, Arsenal, and Brighton, he has been on the bench. Now, in this game, when he came back, I remember saying, well, Vandenberg had been playing in his position when he wasn't playing. But since he had come back, since his most recent injury, since December, came back to the bench on the 2nd of February, and then from the 15th of February right through to the international break, and then the game after that, he was starting every game. So in that time, if you look at these games here against Bournemouth, Brentford, you're going to notice Sepp Vandenberg come forward on the 15th of March. Then the game before that now, Pinnock start. Sepp Vandenberg is out. And Sepp Vandenberg was out here as well. So he had a bit of a stretch where in terms of the first team, he was really unopposed, because in this whole stretch for Brentford when he wasn't playing, Vandenberg was playing beside Collins and they had a decent little run. So I always was asking the question when he came back and everybody was fit, how it was gonna go. And it looked like Pinnock was in front. And then after this Newcastle game, he tried Seth Vandenberg here beside Collins. And ever since then, they got a clean sheet that day. And ever since then, Pinnock hasn't started. So I don't know. I don't believe it's because of an injury, but I've got to do some more research and checks on that. Cunha to United, what hell of a team Amarim gonna have? Him and Bruno in a midfield. Yo, the same thing when I'm emerging them I said earlier today, I'm gonna say, but why not put him in a midfield? Why no want Cunha go play midfield? Cunha want to go score a goal and set up goal. Man, don't want to in a midfield and run around and tackle people. But I mean, it could have worked with Cunha in the position where him play the striker and the two number 10 them. So he could have played this up, to be honest. But not deeper, not like beside Ugarte or nothing like that. But I think that's where I put him anyway. Because Bruno can play back there sometimes. But I think Cunha can do them thing there. Yeah. I know with the number two attacking midfielder them, yeah. So him could have played a role for real. Easy. I'm a baller still, Cunha. I have Cunha in every single fantasy draft, league, FPL, everything. I'm a real Cunha. Yeah, man, Cunha a big baller, man. But yeah, I just wanted to speak a little bit about that whole Ethan Pinnock situation because it's one that I had said from that first Chelsea game when I saw him on the bench. I was like, all right, let's see if this is just a one-off and getting a rest and it's 3 games in a row now. So let's see now this next game now of what's going to happen. But let's talk about the game itself, right? So this was a 4-2 game. Very exciting game, actually, which we had said if you watch the preview that would have been an exciting game. Both teams, I thought Flecken had been the better keeper over the season. Verbruggen, to me, has been making mistakes. And I thought Flecken actually had one of his poorer days in this game. But Brentford started out the better team, I thought, and they did get the goal. Brilliant pass from Keane Lewis Potter through to Mbeumo, who made a run to the middle of the pitch and took it really well, let the ball run across him and finished with his right foot as well. Normally you see him scoring with his left, but showed good technique to finish on his right foot. Then I thought Brighton came into the game after the first goal. It was a bit more even for the rest of the first half. Brighton getting a bit better of it, I thought. And then they got a goal from Danny Welbeck, good header, under pressure. Tucked it away into the post, like really close to the post. And then in the second half, I thought Brentford just came out the completely more hungry team, better team. And they quickly got 2 goals from basically their 2 talisman for the season, Johan Wissa, who set up Mbeumo for his goal. And then Mbeumo returned the favor, setting up Wissa. So, it was very something that you have seen a lot this season, actually, those 2 directly creating a goal for each other. So I know a lot of teams will be looking at Mbeumo, but I think that they have a really good chemistry. I wonder if any team out there would want both. Because Wissa has proven that he's pretty consistent with his goal scoring. He has been given the chance this season. Of course, Brentford have always had Ivan Toney there. He's not there anymore. So really, he showed this when Toney was gone for the gambling. And then, he's pretty much continued it this season. I think Wissa gone about 13 goals right now or something like that. Let me check and see how close to reality I am. So I'm going 16 in the Prem. Same thing. May I short change the boss. 17 in all comps. So yeah, him definitely doing him thing. I think Mbeumo gone like About 20 goal now. This man get a 10 in a game. Brian and Boomer. If you have a team in the Prem, would you sign Brian and Boomer right now? 18 goals, 6 assists in the league this season. Quality. Kevin Schade as well. Fast, speed, technique. Damsgaard was quiet in this game, but did play one wicked pass that basically set up a goal. And Keane Lewis Potter pass was on point. Now on the Brighton side, I thought like for patches of play, they looked really good, but there was no consistency to it. I thought the back line was poor. Van Heck should have probably got sent off, lost his head, but João Pedro did lose his head, elbowing Collins after they were tangled up. So, Brighton just kind of lost their heads. But to be honest, at the end of the game, after that third goal, Brighton did have a little spell that was pretty good. And Mitoma, who had come off the bench, recently been injured, he got a goal to make it 3-2. But Brighton did find another one after a set piece, Norgard heading home to make it 4-2 in the end. So a successful day at the G-Tech. Of course, the Reggae Boys will be playing in this stadium in the Unity Cup versus Trinidad and Tobago, and then potentially Ghana or Nigeria. So definitely going to have our eyes on this stadium in the summer for that. But yeah, storylines for me in this game, and Boomer Wissa continue to shine. And of course, as a Reggae Boys fan, what's the deal with Ethan? How has he lost his game to Sepp Vandenberg? And Sepp Vandenberg, young player, Dutch, I think he's 23 years of age now. Definitely one for the future for them. And he has a contract till 2029, so they have really see him as one for the now and the future. Was just purchased this summer, so 23.6, a pretty good money spent on him there. But from Liverpool, so he definitely would have been one going through the ranks for Liverpool. You have seen Kwanzaa come through the ranks this season and get a lot more games. Maybe that would have been Vandenberg if he wasn't sold. But they have spent the money on him and they want to see what he's about. So Ethan will go have to work real hard. Nathan Collins being one of the more consistent defenders this season. So I understand why if the coach was going to drop one of them, it would have been Ethan this year, because Nathan Collins has been better than him over the season, if we're being honest. But yeah, want to watch towards the end of the season. We want our players to be in good nick and playing. And that, Ethan typically is a player we don't have to worry about that with. I'm wondering if now we have to worry about that with him as well, So let's see. Big up BM Wagwan. This Arteta guy, why he can't sign good players like him? Yeah, Sepp Vandenberg. Or you talk about Cunha. Man, just stubborn. The players, the national team is depending on have fallen off. Not a good omen. Yeah, I mean, look. Maybe it's time, we are very dependent on certain players. That is true. I think the common narrative is like we have to have continuity and chemistry and this and that. But every time we meet up, them say we only have them for 4 days. So you might as well get the ball of them who firing. If you're not gonna have the time for do what you want to do and have a lot of training and just pick the best form players, give them a system that can work for them and run them out. RR blessings. Big up yourself, RR. Bless up Nitro. Big up Pristine. What go on? All right, Pristine. You never, just make sure you stay around for the reveal. Yeah, so this was an entertaining game. Brentford got the 3 points in the end. Brighton definitely proving to be pretenders. Earlier in the season, we used to always ask the question, is this team a contender or a pretender? And Brighton is one of those teams that people used to basically have mixed reviews, but as the season progressed, you can see they have proven to be more pretenders than contenders. I think with them, they have had some not the best luck with some injuries. I do feel like, the likes of Igor Julio, Ferdi Kadioglu, Ruta is out now, Veltman, even Webster, they could have all helped. I think Lewis Dunk was out for a time, but I think they were doing better when he was out. He's back now, and he was unlucky with some of the deflections and things, but he's been having a poor season for me. Still on the ball, incredible, wicked pass of the ball, diagonals, all of that. But the actual defensive duties, yeah, he's struggling. And he was actually in the England team not too long ago. I remember that, but yeah, I don't see him being one for England. Sorry. I mean, as I say, technical, silky, but you have to be able to defend, man, and he don't defend. Anyway, this one right here was a 0-0, Crystal Palace and Bournemouth. Crystal Palace did get a red card in the end, close to the end of the first half. 2 yellow cards for Chris Richards in the first half. Not his best game, for sure. But Crystal Palace was able to hold out. They were just able to hold out for the rest of the game. I thought Bournemouth did basically enough to win the game, but another performance from Henderson and the team. And Crystal Palace, it must be said, they did a decent enough job of like limiting the clear-cut ones. But the one big chance that fell, of course, it was not converted by Bournemouth. But when you look at the stats of the game, the entries, Bournemouth had about 15 more, or 17 more. You should want to have more than that with 10 men or with the one-man advantage for an entire half. When you look at the breakdown of the stats and everything, the shots, in the first half, it was only 6-3. So in the second half, they did make the advantage tell, but not really in the form of clear-cut chances. So, Glasner set out the side properly. They were still had a good shape with the Downer man. The substitution that was made at halftime, bringing on Lerma, taking out Eze, was something that maybe most fantasy fans probably didn't love. But for the shape of the team, it made perfect sense. Lerma been playing centre back as well, when they've had their injury and suspension issues. So he slot in there and, it worked out fine. They were under pressure, which is to be expected, but then they held out and got the point. I know that says something because right now Crystal Palace can't really do anything in the league in terms of getting anywhere else. They're pretty much where they are. I mean, yes, you can just want to finish high up the table as possible, but what really do you have to play for besides pride? And they showed a lot of that, down to 10 men, as I said, able to still get the nil all. But Bournemouth, yeah, they were another one in that pretender bunch. I think it's a bit harsh to say they're pretenders, but certainly they have a little bit more to go to be contenders. And I feel like for them, they are gonna have trouble keeping these players in the summer. So for me, people, there's a few of them that I think like them stock raised this year a lot. So I would say the centre back for sure, Dean, who started playing for Spain the last Nations League window, and I was like, damn, he should have played for the Netherlands, because he played for them his entire youth system all the way through, but him switched to Spain. Then Justin Kluivert, one that has been here, there, and everywhere in his career, but finally he's making good on the promise that he was showing when he was younger. And then Semenyo. I think this is like the second season in a row now for me, and I really like this player. I think another club that is challenging for things, if they were to sign him, they would get a really good player. Works hard for the team. Very rarely you see the coach take him off. And even if he's not having the best game, the coach usually don't take him off because he works so hard for the team. So yeah, that's something that I like about the player for sure. And I feel like if he's playing with like a better team, a better system, even though Bournemouth, I like how they play. I just feel like he would have more output if he was with a team that maybe had a little bit more of the ball and was a little bit more on the front foot against most teams, you know. But I don't know how people feel, but Semenyo, Clivert, and Dean Housen, I think those three. The left back Kirkis as well, yes. I like it. But I'm just saying my three in my ranking would be those three: Clivert, Dean, and Semenyo, Anton Semenyo. So yeah, Bournemouth, I think they're gonna get raided for some of these players in the summer. I don't know what people in the chat think, but I feel like it's going to be a problem. Any update on the Junglist versus Phoenix? You know, say Arnett give them 3-1. Arnett give them 3-1, people. Saw earlier a 2-0 win by Cavalier. And then just concluded now. We have Arnett Gardens 3, Veer 1. Rashiki Kelson score a banger in the first half. Then Veer equalized in the 48th minute through Philo, the Brazilian. Then it looks like Jaheim Thomas scored in the 51st. And who again? Rashean Thompson in the 74th. Yeah, so 3-1 to the Junglists. Yes, if float, I tell you the game done. Yeah, man, relegation, them out of there. I think it was clinched like probably like after the last game, I want to say. Yeah, because they could only get 9 points and they were 10 behind. So yep, they were just playing for pride today, you know. Yeah, but this one didn't have a winner. Good point for Palace under the circumstances, and Bournemouth again just can't quite find enough to get over. So now this game, people, Everton City. So City has been a team that's definitely been trending in the right direction in the Premier League of late. But I think people, like when you look at the picks for the game, people still had a feeling that Everton would be able to, get something out of it. And based on how the game went, I would say that they deserve to get something, at least a goal in the game. But Ortega pulled off a couple really good saves and also some poor finishing as well. City did have their fair share, but I think the set pieces were always a worry for City. Um, I feel like when you look at their team, there's really only a few players on the pitch that are really going to fight for any kind of aerial duel. Nico will fight, but he doesn't have the jumping ability. He only has to use his body to try to defend. And I think that really showed. Nunes ain't winning that many headers. O'Reilly's tall, but he's not really aerially dominant. He's more of a technical player. So yeah, I think that really showed up, and the likes of Tarkowski and O'Brien and all these tall brothers, Manchester City couldn't deal with the set pieces. And to be fair to Everton, there was even in the run-up play they were creating some chances as well. So when you really analyze the stats in this one, as I said, City. Saying all of that, I think City were the deserved winners. I thought they had the better, clearer chances. But I thought Everton was in the game. That you have to give them that 12 shots to 8. So really, it wasn't an onslaught of any kind. But I think, as I said, the quality of the chances that City were getting was better. Everton got 4 yellows. Wow. 73 shots on target. Everton hit the woodwork. Can't remember which player they hit the woodwork again. What was the end eye? Mikalenko did take a shot. Or my boy, the Corey that played good. Yeah, when the Corey have a good game, him really influence the game. Like McNeil get a shot run out again. Yeah, this was a big problem for them, brother. Michael Keane is so bad. It was horrible. Tarkowski was playing good. As soon as Michael Keane got forward, him do some foolishness. Marmoush get a easy chance and dash it. I think it was Keane caused that too. Yeah, Keane doing some rubbish. And Marmoush just run past him one-on-one and Pickford make a wicked save. I watched the game and it could have easily scored 10. Yeah, man, I watched the first half. I see the man pass a ball to Jaheim Thomas in the box, in front of the goal. And no, the man have like 8 yards. Like him do have 8 yards around him do have nobody around him. I said, oh, the man's so free. Right, that's up on top of the box. It's like nobody now mark. I don't know what going on. Should relegation ballers get called for the national setup? Brother, nobody make my head hurt me tonight. Please let me just talk about this league. I know me open up the thing by talking about Pinnock and stuff, but that's at least tying to the EPL. So nobody ask me about that right now. I'm gonna do some content about them thing this week. No feel no way. Zuniga finished the season with 12 goals and 1 assist in 17 games. If he started the season at centre forward, Tawana would have made the playoffs. I didn't know he was that good. Brother, from him reach the club, a bare goal he must score for them. You never see they were in the playoffs in the what name Apertura, you know, and it's sake of him. The man score one bag of goals, scoring at the playoffs too. The man them there lead 3-0 after the first leg and then lose 3-0. And I think basically how them do it is whoever have the higher points in the table, I think that's who go through. Most that because I never seen no penalties or nothing for it. Come look it up the other day. I say, yo, this brother Zuniga, like, what go on? But it look like them never always use him as centre forward though. Like he used to play like one of the wide area them. And you know, I guess this new coach say yeah, Leeds and Burnley. Welcome to the Premier League again. Hopefully your stay is not as short as the last time. And then the playoffs almost set. Of course, now we know Sheffield United are going there. They're in third. It look like nobody know want the 6th spot. Coventry lose, West Brom lose. And what go on? I don't know who want it. Coventry lose to Plymouth. Hey, from where they are Plymouth, I upset some people, you know, brother. And they're in the last place. Remind me, did the great Billy D predicted that Chelsea would have finished better than I'm sure he did. The man they hate Arsenal in my youth. And him going to say, no, it's not hate. I just don't like the Arsenal fans. Whatever you want to call it. But me sure, me don't have the clip, but me sure say him probably said that. Me sure. Because he love Chelsea, what they're doing and everything. But yeah, you would never give Arsenal them credit, man. Never. I'm gonna say them no win nothing. What am I give them credit for? Like that Chelsea team, they win nothing. Sure. And probably win Conference League though, to be honest. Based on how I see them are playing at the league and the teams that in it. So we'll see if them going to make the final, I would think, at least. And anything can play in the final still, but I would like to think they're going to win the Conference League. But yeah, Man City, they got the 2 goals, Nico O'Reilly. Ah, boy. It could have been so different for us and that kid, but as I said, we're going to keep it EPL tonight. But yeah, Nico O'Reilly scoring in his 2nd game running after scoring in the FA Cup as well in the quarterfinals. So finding the goals, Kovacic as well, always chipping in with a goal, got one late in the game to make it 2-0. I don't know how Man City didn't concede in this game. I'm going to be honest with you. I mean, there were multiple times when it looked like they were going to score. They hit the woodwork, all kind of madness going on. But As I said, City did enough to win. I thought they still deserved to win. But Everton, I thought they deserve a goal. But City got the clean sheet. Ortega was in goal for Ederson, who is out injured. As I said, Marmoush, not one of his finest days, but he did miss the big chance. But I thought he was very lively. You can see 5 dribbles completed. So yeah, he was doing his thing. De Bruyne, Savinho, Silva, they all played decent. But yeah, Nico O'Reilly got the goal. Basically ended up at centre forward from left back and put it in after a good overlap by Nunes. So right back to left back, Man City style. Pep, vintage Pep. But yeah, City looking to make sure they solidify their place in the Champions League next year. There are about 7 teams, I would say, right now as prime candidates for that top 5. And in my prediction, I did predict City to get there. So we'll see if that is true or not. But good first step for them, 2-0 over Everton. Good fight though, Everton. You played decent. You never get killed. For sure, it was a good game. But City in the end got it done. So we'll check what that means for them in the table in just a second. All right. So West Ham and Southampton. So I just want to shout out nobody, because nobody believed in Southampton. At least some people gave them a goal. I gave them a goal. Biggs G, Max City, I think Float, but everybody else said I nil them again. But this one ended 1-1. Jared Bowen and Ugochukwu getting the goals. I think Ugochukwu is on loan from Chelsea, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, Bowen with a good finish. Real quick feet in the box, just never let his defender settle to even defend it. And all Ramsdale could do was get a hand to it, but he still got into the goal. And then after some good work by Kyle Walker-Peters' deflection, Ugochukwu took it out of the air and hit it in off the post. No chance for Areola in goal. So this one ended 1-1. Disappointing result, I would think, for Graham Potter, wanting to get the 3 points in front of the home fans against the team that is, going to be at the bottom of the table for sure at the end of the season. But it wasn't meant to be for them. Southampton, you have to give them the credit. They, did well all game, actually. It was a pretty even game when you look at the statistics and the metrics. But in the end, I think a draw was a fair result. I don't think either team dominated enough. You see the stats are looking pretty similar. 4 shots on target, expected goals pretty close as well. So yeah, it was a game that I don't think either team could feel hard done by getting the point, because I don't think either team really stamped the class on the other one. So West Ham, Southampton, this one ended 1-1. Ugochukwu, as I said, getting the goal. Pretty sure that was probably his first of the season. Yep, first goal of the season. And he will be headed back to Chelsea. He's on loan. 21 years old from France. Chelsea bought everybody in the last 2 years. So he's another one that they bought. And he did help out his loan club to a 1-1 draw. Not many times the Southampton fans can celebrate a late goal this season. So even though it wasn't for the win, I'm sure the traveling fans really enjoyed that one. So 1-1, West Ham, Southampton. Potter hasn't really stamped his class on this team yet. Let's see how it goes in the future for him. And then the big game of the day on Saturday, and probably of the weekend, to be honest, when you looked at league table and what it meant, was Aston Villa and Newcastle. Now, I think going into the week, Newcastle would have been in 3rd and Aston Villa in 7th. But this result, this 4-1 result, which in the beginning, it looked like it could have gone either way, especially when Shar got the equalizer after Watkins' goal in the first minute of play. Big deflection causing that goal. And the first half, the way it played out, both teams really had their decent half chances. But then that second half, one that the Newcastle team and fans would want to forget, I'm sure, because they really got blitzed in that second half. The first half, much more even. Still an edge to Aston Villa. But that second half, when you look at the difference, the big chances, the expected goals, huge, huge difference, night and day. So the halftime team talk for Emery was incredible in this one. They got 3 goals in the space of 11 minutes. They got some of those goals. Yeah, they got those goals just after making some subs, as Onana, who came on, ended up scoring the pick of the goals on the day, even though Matson's goal was really nice too, the build up and the overlap and the finish. But Onana, the way he struck that one, side of the foot, but still full of power and perfect placement to make it 4-1 and send Villa Park into a frenzy. It was so loud when that fourth goal went in. Like, really, you could see the fans love that one. But yeah, Jason Tyndall, who has been taking care of managerial duties as Eddie Howe recovers, he had basically been flying high, giving teams 5 and winning, just winning all the games. But this is the first time that he faced some serious adversity while being the manager on the sideline, and they definitely got punched in the mouth, and it was a marker laid down by Aston Villa to all the other top 5 teams, I think. The nature of that victory, and Unai Emery and Aston Villa, you could tell they took out all their Champions League frustrations on Newcastle in this one, and basically blew the top 5 race wide open because with the gap being so close between all these teams, this one win basically catapulted them and put Newcastle back there right in the middle of everybody. So we're gonna check on the table, as I said. Very, very interesting how it's shaping up as well, and we're gonna try to look at the fixtures as well to see. All right, try to predict which team will reach where after a certain amount of games. But in this one, Aston Villa was just too much for them. Ali Watkins got the start, made people look back, I'm sure, in hindsight and say, yo, why Ali Watkins never start in the Champions League and all these things. But yeah, it's he played well in this game. Tillemans continues his good form this season. I remember I saw somebody say all Villa need back is Douglas Luiz, and I just disagree so much because I feel like they have so much better balance now with the midfielders they have with Kamara, Tillemans, and Onana. With those 3, they can rotate, two, either any of those 2 could play with each other, and it's fine. If you're going a little more sturdy, you put Kamara and Onana. If you know you're going to have some of the ball and you want to progress and a table setter back there, then you have Tillemans. So I think that's, to me, the role he's been playing the best. I saw him play a little more attacking in Champions League, got a goal and everything, influence the game. But I think when he plays that deeper role, his ability, his range of pass is too good, to not have him a bit deeper in the pitch. And then his decision making is very good as well. So, Matson looks like he could be, if he gets a little more development, his athleticism is mad. That overlap and that finish was like the speed in that play. But yeah, it was a tough day at the office for most of the Newcastle players. Shar got a goal, but other than that, he was always chasing Trippier, Dan Burn, Livermento. Everybody was struggling against this Aston Villa team on this day. Rodgers was back to himself. I thought he didn't have the best game in the second leg, and definitely, step back up in this one. Asensio, another one that when you look back, you said, Jano, why Asensio never play more in those games. But everybody's a genius after the fact, right? So I'll go on. Yeah, he was on the left wing. When the coach got tired, he put him at centre forward and bench Boza. Okay. Yeah, Osorio was quite pleased with him playing wing. New coach just said, no, 1.5 billion bottle jobs. You might better. Betis win Europa. That is true. Forget about that. Man like Anthony. Ederson not going to leave Man City, or I think Pepper will keep him and have 3 goalkeeper. West Ham is just so shit. Sometimes I wonder why Arsenal lose to them. Yeah, bro. We always every season we lose for one team. And I said, Jano, how? Big up, coach. I go on. I wonder what kind of project Chelsea sell these youths make them sign so much player and Arsenal can't. Yeah, but I don't even think the way them do it even makes sense though. Corrections. The nigga start the season at centre forward, the club but Bowser then push the nigga to the wing. The new coach returns the nigga to centre forward. Okay. Any word on Bailey? I noticed he wasn't in the squad on Saturday. No, all that I know it's some kind of injury. It's some kind of injury that him have. I don't think he's fully. I know he was on the bench for that Champions League game, but a part of me even wonder if he was ever going to get used, and he was just there as like, I don't know, just to make the other team think about him coming on. I guess I don't know because how he would have met the bench just so, and then unless something flare up in a training, like when him train the next day or like preparing for the next match. But I don't have any official word though, to be honest. Yeah, cause it's a no missing players, but he's not on the bench, so that's a strange one. Leon Bailey, latest. Yeah, because all right, in an article before the match, it has a Aston Villa revealed he has a full complement of players, with Leon Bailey having returned from injury for their clash against PSG. We are going to train this afternoon and to test the players to see how they are for tomorrow. It is good news that in the last matches we covered a lot of players. Okay, so at the beginning, every player is available unless someone is feeling something or is more tired than normal. So maybe them train and him something go on. I don't read anything like that, but based on what he said before, the man said have everybody, and but him said he did have to train that day, so maybe him pick up something that day. Okay, explains shot decision involving Aston Villa. All right, so I can't, I go pull up that one here, people. He had to leave out certain players. Bailey was one of them. All right, so I got read it now. Come find the article and I think BM talk about, I think. So let me show you. People go and smash up the like button. It's a must. All right. Emery explains. Emery explain now. Emery has confirmed Villa duo Paul Torres and Liam Bailey have not suffered injuries despite not being selected. The Villains didn't seem to miss Paul and Bailey on Saturday as they ran out dumping 4-1 victors over the Magpies at Villa Park. It was still a shock to see the pair not involved, and even more of a surprise to hear were purely tactical. Wow. Emery decided to start Mings instead of Paul, perhaps for his physicality up against Isak, while there wasn't room for Leon Bailey because McGinn and Rogers were named as the wide starters and Ramsey and Rashford were brought on as reinforcements. It was a surprise that Emery didn't even want Paul's quality on the bench, but he felt it was necessary to have the likes of Disasi and Garcia available instead. On the subject of defenders, Lamar was also overlooked as he didn't make the roster due to a lack of space. Today was the first time this season I had to take players out of the squad because every player was available for today. It was different circumstances that I decided out of Paul, Leon Bailey, and Bogart. I told the players it's the first time. Of course, it's good for me to take the decision. I want moments like that with the players available, ready to play and performing. He's delighted with Villa's squad depth. So yeah, we did say when all them ballers are forward, we say, yo, Bailey have to go work, And see it there. Man don't have nothing wrong with him. Just purely tactical and a team full of baller. So that is it. That is it. Yeah, but Onana goal was nice. Matson goal was nice as well. But 4-1, man. Newcastle got a beating. They've had a few of these this year where them just, get mashed up on the day. But that was not good timing and not the best opponent because they are one of the teams chasing them. Then we go to another team that I have when I analyzed everything, analyzed the fixtures left. I have this team going, falling just outside of the top 5, and that's Chelsea. But they were able to pull off basically a reverse of what happened in the reverse fixture. So at the bridge, Chelsea took the lead, and basically around the same time, Fulham got 2 goals, one in the 80, one in the 90, plus injury or in the injury time, and Fulham won 2-1 at the Stamford Bridge. Chelsea basically flipped the script on them, scoring 2, one in the 83rd from Tyreek George, and a player that I actually know pretty well because he was playing a lot with Whisper last season in the under 21s. So I've been kind of seeing this player before. And then Pedro Neto got the second goal, the winner. Cracker really spinning and swiveling and smashing it with his left foot. No chance for Leno in goal, who had a good game otherwise. Because I thought Chelsea were definitely deserved winners. They had so many chances in the game. Oh my gosh. But they couldn't really finish them. But yeah, 13 shots to 6. Sanchez never even had to make a save in the game. Shots on target, only 1. And that 1 went into the goal from Alex Iwobi. But yeah, the story of this one was just 2 late goals, and they really did basically dominate the game. Not much going forward for Fulham. Don't think they did enough, had enough impetus going forward. Never really asked much questions of Chelsea on the day. But I thought Chelsea definitely good value for the win. Um, Great strike by George. Can't take nothing from him. Kind of got a bit lucky that it fell to him in the way that he did, but he had a lot left to do and was able to pull it off really nicely. And then Pedro Neto had come close quite a few times with crosses and shots that just missed and everything. But in the end, he found the target, and it was a beautiful goal as he turned and swiveled. As I said, cracked it with his left, past a flying Leno to make it 2-1. Basically, Maresca in the first half, it was a bit flatter. I thought that they really showed a lot more impetus in the second half. Even though they were down, it never really felt like Fulham were going to score more goals, to be honest. And I thought in the second half, Chelsea really stepped it up, the intensity, and they were able to, peg them back so much to where they just caved in the end. And this Fulham team this season has given up a lot of goals late in games. And this one was no different. As I said, both goals after the 80th minute. And it was just so weird because it was just like the opposite fixture that took place earlier this season. Just the scores were flipped, Yeah, man, it's all there for real. Since Raul Jimenez come back from the Nations League, seems like he forgot where the net is. Yeah, I mean, Jimenez can't score again. Muniz kind of take away him game for a couple and then him start again. And it's been working this season where whoever scored, whoever scoring or assisting, them just start. But yeah, it does look like Jimenez, that international break, he went and scored, did really well for Mexico and hasn't quite forward back into the league the same. Bless up DJ Geeks, Wagwan. Quality player though. Let's see how he finishes the season. That's true. Yeah, man, I'm not doubting it. The team in the EPL that you think got the best midfield side season. Or the best midfield this season? It's a good question. Even though Liverpool is a top team right now, I think their midfield is probably underrated because I don't think people rate McAllister and Gravenberch the way they should be rated. I think if anything, people rate Soboslai, but that even him, I think people might not rate enough because I think they're underrated as a midfield. All the plaudits go to Salah and Van Dijk and Trent and but that midfield is good. Newcastle's midfield, balance-wise, is mad. The only thing with Newcastle's midfield, sometimes on a creativity side, and they definitely have the physicality and they're technical. But even though Bruno play like deeper line, he does have vision and can play through passes. And so can Tonali. I think Joe Linton is the one runner, even though all three of them run. But yeah, Newcastle I would say is up there. I think Aston Villa is too, to be honest. Yuri Tillemans, Kamara, yeah, it's a good midfield. And of course Arsenal's midfield, Partey, Rice, Ode, God. Yeah, but I think like for me, probably Liverpool, Arsenal. Trying to think between Newcastle and Aston Villa, which midfield I prefer. I probably prefer Aston Villa's midfield a little more. Yeah, bro. Benfica, the turn up. That's when they there, right? Benfica. And yeah, and Nunes was at Benfica as well, tearing it up and can't score now. Owen. Oh, go on, bro. I go to bed. So 2-1 to the Chelsea. When them find the goal, their top five chase needed a lifeline. And Neto threw them one. So let's see if it's sustainable. As I said, we're gonna have the top five discussion again tonight. I don't pick my five, I'm not change, even though the results go they went, it's alright. Can stay the thing, cause some prediction work. But yeah, Maresca, I have to give him some credit. Him get beaten a lot this season, but at halftime I thought he was proactive, bring on Sancho, bring on Gusto. Those two had a good impact in the second half. And then again, another substitution. Tyreek George getting a goal soon after him forward. So yeah, you have to give him a little bit of the credit for at least, pressing the right buttons in the game and making sure that Chelsea could find the result. And they did find it in the end, 2-1. As I said, it was probably deserved. They did have the better of the play for the most part. Now moving on to Ipswich and Arsenal. This game, most people went a bit conservative. To be understandable as well, because Arsenal just forwarding from knocking out Real Madrid in the Champions League. So maybe they thought, a bunch of changes and have another game midweek before. But the thing is, because our opponent is Crystal Palace this week, because they're going to be playing at the weekend in the FA Cup semi-final. So we actually don't have a weekend Premier League game. So I'm going to be honest, people. I expect Arteta to go strong in the Crystal Palace game too, and perhaps have the same kind of mind frame around 57, 60 minutes, make a couple subs, maybe the players you want to protect the most, the Sakas of the world. Declan Rice also came off in the 73rd. He might play more of this game on Wednesday. I think also Arteta might have looked at it and said, look, if we do what we're supposed to do against this Ipswich team, we should have them down enough, early enough in the game where I can take off the starters. Now, is it a case against Crystal Palace where you don't want to take that route because Crystal Palace is a little more formidable than Ipswich Town? Or do you take the same exact approach? I don't know. But the good thing is, as I said, Arsenal do have a game on the weekend. So we have this game Wednesday, then we have the Champions League game against Paris on Tuesday. And we don't have to travel to Paris either. So I think he's probably going to go relatively strong in the next game. But first things first, let's talk about this game. This was domination, people. We got a red card in the 31st minute, a bad challenge by Leif Davis. I don't think he even meant it to happen that way, but it looked bad. It started a bit high and just raked down the Achilles. No, that one hurt. But by that time, we're already up 2-0. Goals from Trossard and Martinelli. Trossard with a neat finish to the legs in traffic for the first one, and then Martinelli, after some really good play down the right-hand side by Arsenal, Saka just beating his man for pace, drew it back to Marino, who he'll probably tell you the flick was perfect for Martinelli. I think he was trying to score, but either way, he still gets an assist for that. Martinelli gets a tap in, 2-0. Then Leif Davis gets the red card, and then it was the Bukayo Saka I don't want to score show. This man missed 3 big chances. I don't even know if them count it as 3 big chances, but me think it was 3 big chances. One was just egregious miss, like him, one, and the keeper, and him dash it. They only said 1 big chance miss. That's crazy. Yo, the man get 3 chances in a row before halftime for make it 3-0 and never score not one of them. I don't like that, bro. West Ham fans think that the midfielders are too slow, which that slow madness just got me thinking that they're drinking. Yeah. West Ham fans, I'm gonna tell West Ham fans for buy John Russell. Yo, JGTV, Morgan Rogers ain't no joke. Yeah, man. The man going away this weekend. But that's why I'm going all season. But PSG second leg, him never going, so that's a problem. Yeah, both Nunez and Jimenez were at me. That's not that. Portuguese league is very underrated, especially the big three, Porto, Sporting Lisbon, and Benfica. Players leave those clubs and play for Real Madrid, Liverpool. Yeah, of course. Of course. We need and City too, because that's where Nico fought from. We need to take it to Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace is a little fragile now. Yeah, Crystal Palace been giving up goals. I mean, they were able to keep the clean sheet, but boy, they were really hanging on for that clean sheet. But I want to miss now and shake off the rust, so next week him score. All right, no problem. See me in Red Skull, the man just get a hat trick in that game and just feel yes. Score against Madrid, hat trick against Ipswich, like keep the momentum going. Yo, football is a once you get in another groove there, man. But you say you don't want to use up the goal, then me say just score a bag of goal. Either way, just against Paris, just score, yeah, brother. But I was upset, man. But even with them chances where he miss a half chance where he miss, him still get a 7.8 before everything done. Because the man set up what? 1 big chance and make 7 key pass in the time when we play 7 key pass. Or the guy probably make 15 then. 5. Saka still make more key pass. But this brother Trossard play well in this game, man. And I say, coach. And one thing we have to point out about Arteta in this game, what I actually did like, so we know that Partey can't play the first leg against Paris, right? So automatically, a lot of people were thinking that he would start this game knowing that he can't play the Champions League. But no, I think Arteta did this because this might just be a preview of the first leg team minus the two fullback them. So Timber in and Miles Lewis Skelly in. But the rest of the team probably look just like this for the first leg. I bet you. Rice in the 6. I remember no Jorginho, you know. So can't even play Jorginho this one. But Rice in the 6, Marina and Odegaard, and then that front three right there. And the only, as I said, the only change is Timber going to play right back and Skelly going to play left back. That's it. Yeah. Better that is it. Havertz, I think he'll go back by Tuesday. Havertz. I'm saying Havertz might forward doing soon. That would be interesting. But 4-0 to Arsenal. One getting a goal late as well. Odegaard hit the post. This one cannot score. I don't know why he cannot score. And then Trossard got his second after a nice short corner routine. And those were the 4 goals. And could have been more, to be honest. Could have been more. That's a Saka missed 1 clear one for sure. And 2 very good ones as well. So yeah, we got the 4-0. Could have been more. Another clean sheet though. That's the best thing. Just keep those clean sheets going. Definitely good value for the win, and we're able to pull it off. So 4-0 to the Arsenal. Too bad it don't mean anything in the grand scheme of this league, but all you can do is just try to win the games that you have and get ready for the PSG game. Now, this game, this was a real split in terms of the voting, you know, basically half and half. And the half that went for Wolves was smart, including myself. So Wolves did get the win 1-0 courtesy of a brilliant free kick by Sarabia. He had just come on not too long before as well. Yeah, like 3 minutes before. And yeah, it was a brilliant free kick. Nothing. Onana love get people love cuss Onana, but brother, if anybody cuss Onana for that free kick, you know, it's a wicked. That's all I can say. Wicked set of people. Wicked set of people. There should be programs in Jamaica to get our best young players to Portugal, Belgium, and Holland. These are good marks to develop young. Yo, may I tell you the truth, BM? When I was 9 years old, Winston Chongfa did bring some scouts or some brother whom did know from Holland and I think Belgium. I think they were from Holland though, to come watch some prep school and primary school and stuff. And one of the coach them did inquire about me, and the way of the story go, I could have had the opportunity to go, but at the time, like it wasn't really something that my family did really want at the time. At least that's how the story goes. That's how the story was told to me. In playing Trossard and Marino, them style of playing is similar to striker. Sesko, what you think him suits Arsenal the best way? Him playing Trossard and Marino, them style of playing is similar to striker. Sesko, what you think him suits Arsenal the best? You know, in a way, I kind of want whatever striker come, that we try to evolve the system to make the striker play how him want to play. You see what I'm saying? Like, I feel like anybody where we get, that's another version of the Trossards and the Havertz, we now get the 30 goals a season. It's just not going to happen. So if you don't want that, just say you don't want that. Because if we get certain type of player, it's not going to be that. Them are going to run the channels, run the this, run the that, and we not play them ball this. So, you know. Ryan need the golden gloves well, but yeah, I think he's a few behind now. I believe. Or he's only 1 behind. Alright. That is nice. Yeah, Cell's gone 13, him gone 12. The problem is the EPL fanboys in Jamaica, they think you're not playing in England, you're nobody. That is true. That is very true. BBK Sports up full enough. Why BBK? You made your debut in the predictions, I'll see how you did. Victor is the one for me. Yeah. See, to me, I just think either one of those Swedish strikers, bro. I don't care which one. I swear. I used to think Isak more and have to be Isak, but either one, I'll be happy with. Either one. I just don't think Newcastle will sell. I think Newcastle will make Champions League again. And yeah, they might get to spend a little bit of the money where they have to spend. Because they have a bag of money. They're not afraid of the FFP business. But the revenue should be decent if they make Champions League, which I think they will. So, yeah. I mean, I know this week never looks so good for them, but I think they still will make it. Anyway, Wolves over Man United. And I think, honestly, most time when a coach lose, and him say we never deserve to lose, I'd say 95% of the time them being delusional. But the coach of Man U said this, and it's actually true this week, I swear. I don't know how this brother will keep, This man was only keeping because Jose Sa get an injury in the warm-up, And the way the man keep it, I think him at the number one. The man keep excellent in the game, brother. Bentley. Trust me. 31 years of age now. Man keep wicked. But this was the stats for the game, people. Much better expected goals. Look at that. Not even hit 0.5 for the expected. Only one big chance, though. That's the main issue with United, Even though they were like the better team, probably deserved more than the other team. It wasn't like they were being very clinical in their like openings and entries. Just not enough finishing actions being converted well enough, just too many mistakes in the final third. But they definitely kept Wolves at bay for the most part. They didn't concede a big chance in the game. But when you have a player the quality of Sarabia, like Acuna, who actually got fouled for the free kick, there's always a possibility because both of them could score that goal from that angle, whether Acuna or Sarabia. But Sarabia took control and it was a good decision. That was a very, very clean free kick. I don't know, was that the best free kick this season in the league? Because we know, obviously, Rice have the trophy for the Champions League, but I talk about Premier League. What other free kick did bad in the league? That was just well struck. Yeah, man, the man I run through the league like it's a mad thing. Yeah, and the crazy thing, before the Coventry year, he never really did score a bag of goal anywhere, It was just that year at Coventry, the man just take off. Or was it Coventry or was it? It was Coventry? Yeah, it was Coventry. Man, I did the Brighton one time. St. Pauli. Yeah, so I really see that 5 goal, and then the man that starts score 18, 21, 35. Now I'm up on pace for not on pace, I'm at 45. But gun man, 45. 14 team of the week. 34 goal. 40 goal contribution in 29 game. Man, some video game thing. Not even the pan legendary. Yes, I score some outrageous numbers. But Man United fell again. No striker. I'm sure I'll start Harry Maguire up front. I don't know why they never do it. Harry not even get a game. Chido, you could have get a chance this season. But yeah, United, United and Spurs, man, joke business. Just one league them up pre and a Europa couldn't be Premier. 1-0 to Wolves, people. I was a genius. I didn't say 1-0, but I said Wolves would win. All right, the next game on Sunday. This was the last game on Sunday. Leicester and Liverpool, and boy, Leicester hung on till the 76th minute. I mean, and when I say hung on, I mean hung on, people. Leicester did hit the woodwork. Indeed, he did hit the woodwork with a shot in the first half, but I was really there, the closest that they came in a game right there. After that, all Liverpool. I think Liverpool had like at least 8 big chance, at least, maybe more, or 10. See there, 10 big chance. 28 shots. You know, they've been doing madness like that all season, just pressuring teams, pressure. 10 shots on target. That's crazy. Let me see the entries. Probably lopsided. Yeah, 72-41. So there you go. So Liverpool took it to them. Leicester City, of course, you know, weren't expecting much from them, but Liverpool only could muster that one goal, and it was a scramble after a set piece. I think Jota hit the woodwork, and then it bounced out to Trent, and he was able to volley it in. And of course, we have seen the memes going around with Trent, man, them get him from a weird side view, and man look like him belly big and thing, but can see said the boss in shape still. Just that weird camera angle, it just look away. But yeah, people wanted to say, hey, there's a conspiracy, him take off him shirt and fling it on the ground. And I just think he was just emotional that him get what was probably going to be the winner in, you know, what I think is probably his last go around for Liverpool. You know, he's seen Salah and Van Dijk resign. I wonder, you think that changes anything at all? Because it could just be verbal agreements at this point and nothing set in stone, you know? Or, you know, personal terms agreed and everything, but, you know, the move don't must go on. Osimhen to United. So them I get Cunha and Osimhen. Sure no. West Ham will be Man U only with remaining win. Yeah, Bruno did come on. Yeah. Oh, Bruno against Everton was a good free kick. Yes, you are correct. You are correct. That was mad. Yeah, they said 40 are the magic number, but luckily Leicester and some next side in the league, so them all right. Arsenal must sign him. I'm glad, brother. The foot, cause the Jason guy is madman. Which Jason guy? Me? I want to say no. I want to say skull. Victor, man, you know way. When Arsenal beat them in December, he stated that hopefully him and Gabriel can play together. Oh, you mean when Gabriel do the celebration thing or beat them? Yeah, because you know my style, skull. I Isaac my thing. I Isaac me say, you know, but there's a reason it logically now after some time and some more analyzing and thing. I mean I say either one of them, brother. But we should have one of those Swedish internationals in the damn team. Feel like the two of them game fit. Them do it a little differently at times, but they do a lot of similar things as well. I think Isak is a little more graceful with it, and body type is a little different and everything, but Gyökeres is just as effective in those phases too. The link up, the back to goal, the spin, even peel off and just run into space, anything. Him can get open and free any kind of way. That's why I'm gone so much goal. I mean, I don't care what league you're playing, brother. 45 goal, that's not a joke thing. That's not a joke thing at all. But Liverpool got it done, people. I think it's just one more win now, and then basically secure it. So yeah, we don't have said it's over still, but it's really over now. But we have to talk about more, Cause Mo get him new contract, and it's like man just man just take him time play out the season start. The man expected goals was over one. See, the man missed 4 big chances by himself. Hit the woodwork twice. Me I cuss Saka for the miss them, but some of them miss you. Me say Salah making another game, yeah. No, brother. Not good enough from Salah on this occasion. But Liverpool still got the result. And that's been the story of Liverpool season. They've had a lot of games where maybe them don't play their best. Even though I thought this performance wasn't too bad in this game, honestly. And Salah just had a nightmare. He couldn't finish. He couldn't score. Um, but yeah, Liverpool got it done again. 1-0. The champions elect. And then the last game would have been today. And it was another poor showing from Tottenham in the league. Tottenham did have the most of the play in the second half, to be fair. And to be honest, once the second goal went in, Tottenham was definitely, the team that obviously was looking to do more in the game. But again, whenever you see certain stats against Nuno, you have to take it to that grain of salt, because this man literally tell him team now to try to win the ball, and I swear. Man just say, go back in the shape. I don't care how long them have the ball, how long them pass it. When them get into these areas, get tighter, win the ball, and we counter. And the man just do that for the rest of the game. And they're quite comfortable doing that. Look at this. Tottenham with more expected goals, 4 big chance to only 1 to Forest. But how much time I tell you this season, Forest is efficiency. Efficiency Forest deal with. You can have a million shot if you want. You can even have better chance that way if you want. But my keeper going to make like 2-3 big save, and our players don't need a bigger chance. They must go score the 1 chance and get, or the 2 chance and get. And that's basically how it happened in the game. Chris Wood back on the score sheet. Anderson scored again as well. And then the second half, Richarlison pulled one back, but it was too little, too late. Beautiful cross by Pedro Porro, though, it must be said. So yeah, we have shots on target definitely in favor of Spurs. They missed all 4 of the big chances, though. It's a big problem for Spurs finishing this season. More entries for Tottenham. 67-47. Interesting. But Forest needed this win. They've been kind of, waffling towards the finish line, but definitely got a big win. Actually figured they would win the game. This was the one game I got this week completely right. Forest 2, Tottenham 1. But I just had a feeling that them and United would be a bit too much from Thursday to now to get to that full recovery, even get to that full focus level that's probably required to get over the hump in the Premier League, in the English Premier League. So I was dead right with those two, just thinking that the Europa League would mash them up. I thought actually of the two, I thought both of their performances were decent. It wasn't like Spurs was horrible, but they just gave up some really poor goals, and I think it was just a byproduct of the euphoria of getting to the semi in those other competitions. So in the end, Forest, I would say, even though the stats probably say a different picture, because I watched this game fully, I still say Forest was good value for the win, because they had their game plan at 2-0 and they were not going to go against it. and they carried it out well, and as I said, Tottenham did, definitely get some really good opportunities. Pedro Porro was just on point with some of the crosses. And when Richarlison hit that in, chances are Spurs can find the equalizer, but it wasn't meant to be. And Forest got a huge 3 points for their top 5 aspiration. So now that we have gone through all 10 fixtures, before we reveal the winners for the week and the donkey of the week, we are going to first and foremost pull up the English Premier League table for you guys. But before I do so, people, let me just remind you that you need to smash the like button. Haven't asked for a like in a while. It's time, people. Smash up that like button, share and subscribe. All right, cool. Yeah, people. So let's get the table up on the screen, as I said before. I will go through and see what's going on with the table going into the last now 5 games of the season. All right, so let's get the table up and going. So relegated now for sure. Southampton, Leicester also relegated. Can't get enough points. Ipswich mathematically still have a chance. Thanks to West Ham only getting a draw in that game. They're 15 points behind. They have 15 points to play for, but they do have 20 goal difference to make up. So a minor miracle needed for Ipswich to stay up in the league, but until it's over, it's not over, right? So they are still there for now. West Ham 36 points in 17. Tottenham with that loss dropped down a place to 16th. Wolves leapfrog West Ham. Sorry, they were already in front of West Ham. No, they weren't. They leapfrog. No, they were. The leapfrog Tottenham into 15th position. Then we have Man U on 38 as well as Everton, but Everton has a slightly better goal difference at -6, -8 for you, Man U, and -13 for Wolves. So 13th, 14th, and 15th right there. Yeah, Tottenham 16th, West Ham 17th. I mean, literally, if West Ham win and all those teams lose, they jump right up to 13th. So it's a madness right there in the table. What I think if Man U and Tottenham finish 16th and 17th, my gosh. Crystal Palace, a little bit of a buffer from Everton. They're 6 points clear of them on 44 points. Brentford on 46 points after playing 33 games. And then we're moving to the top 10 now. We have Brighton, who just lost to Brentford, 2 points off of them, but they are still ahead of them with 48 points in 10th. Then we have Fulham also on 48 points in 9th. Bournemouth turned out to be a pretender, sad to say. 49 points, 8 points off Villa now. Probably looking like they are pretty much out of this top 5 race. Can't expect these teams going for it to drop so many points. But they had a good season, I think. Aston Villa right now in 7th position, even after that win against Newcastle. But, definitely tying that gap up now, just 3 points off 3rd place, Nottingham Forest. Chelsea also have 57, but better goal difference there in 6th. Man City currently holds that 5th and final Champions League spot with 58 points, but gathering momentum and steam here as we're going to the end of the season. Newcastle, is it going to be a blip, or is that a little bit of a sign of what's to come in the near future for Newcastle, that 4-1 loss? We'll have to wait and see, people. I don't think so, but currently they're in 4th on 59 points. Then we have Nottingham Forest 60 points in 3rd. And, this is the part where it's not so exciting anymore for the Premier League. 2nd place, Arsenal, 13-point gap with Liverpool. They can cut it to 10 on Wednesday, but Liverpool will not be collapsing enough. 13 points, 15 to play for. Yeah, their magic number as of right now is 3. So if they get a win, it's over and done with. We cannot surpass 82 points this season. Really can't believe that 81 points is the highest we can get. But, when you have 12 draws in a season and you don't win all the rest, that's what happens. So, yeah, only one more loss than Liverpool. But look at the difference in wins and draws, Big, big difference there. And that's where the points come in to be 13 points at the moment. So, that is the league table as of right now. As I said, I've made my choices for the top 5. I've gone Liverpool, Arsenal, Newcastle, Manchester City, and Aston Villa. That would be my top 5 that I'm thinking. And I think Forest and Chelsea will be on the outside looking in when all is said and done. But we'll see if I'm right or I am wrong on that one. Feel sorry for Forest because they've done it all season, but I just feel like they're going to drop out in the end, man. I really do. I just think Spurs was they were like a good team to play in the moment, but they have some tougher matches coming up. So we'll see. All right, people. So no need to hitch anymore, people. Let us get on the screen right now. Wait, say like those top 5 picks? Yeah, I just have a feeling that Forest gonna fall a little short, and even though Maresca pressed the right buttons to get the result against Fulham, I don't think he's gonna do that for the rest of the season, Oh, Berta. We said I'm a win Spurs next weekend. Not even a miracle. Yeah, me know, but we don't want to move like JPL and just relegate the man them before time, You have to have respect. You can't just say them relegated yet. Victor not gonna man you, you're mad. Okay. Certainly last season stop being illusion, but if he could do it in the Premier League, we would be much better. For real. Big up float. Before you go with float, look on this. I hope you're not gone yet. All right, people. So this is none other than the reveal of this week's standings for the picks. So a champion float. You're well sleepy, but hopefully you're not too sleepy. And you see this. Float management, 7-3 record with 2 correct scores. Float, big up yourself. You had the best picks for the week. 7 wins is not bad in predictions. So I have to give you your credit. 7-3 with 2 correct scores. You got the 2-1 Chelsea Fulham result correct, and also the 2-1 Forest Tottenham result, just like me, correct. So 7-3. As you can see, Duke with the bounce back week. Last week, Duke was the donkey with a 1-9 record, one of the worst for the season, but he was back with a 7-3, bouncing back right after. So big up yourself, Duke. No trophy for second though, as you always remind me. The tiebreaker is real, people. You have to try to get the scores right. Duke literally didn't get his hands on this trophy because he had one less game predicted correctly. He did predict the 2-0 to Manchester City. That was the only one he could get. Mas got the 3rd place, 5-5, as well as myself and Biggs G, but Mas did get 2 scores to our 1. Also had some other 5-5. Pristine, big up yourself in the building. And also my cousin Nick, NDH, 5-5 as well. Then BBK Sports made his debut and came a little bit too close to being a donkey of the week, but at least he got that a little bit away from that due to his picking the 2-0 Man City victory as well. 4-6 for him. Nitro, veteran in the predictions, also not having his best showing with a 4-6. But people, the next thing we have to reveal is not as fun, right? We don't like to have to ridicule anybody like this. But to be totally honest, we have to do it, people. We have to. All right, so without further ado, people, the donkey of the week for week 33 in the EPL predictions is, drum roll, Max City. Max City, big up yourself. Always was supporting, but never really took part in the predictions at all. I can't remember you ever doing it. But we understand why now, Max City. You are the donkey of the week. It was a good week picks wise. A lot of times 3 and 7 would be safe. There'd be some 2s and 1s out there. Well, mainly 2, because Duke getting the 1, that was very rare. But yeah, this week 3-7 wasn't good enough. Had some good picks, as I said, 7-3-1. That's a good week as far as predictions go. Most of the time. So yeah, Mac City, don't give up, my brother. It was only once that he did this. Let Duke be a storyline for you to aspire towards. Just last week this time, Duke's name was on this page, but things changed quickly, and he was all the way up at the top of the table this week. So that could be you next week, Man City, Max City. So make sure you're there Friday night when we do the preview show for the weekend's games. All right. What we're gonna do to make sure that we have 10 games to pick, we're gonna include in the preview show for the weekend the FA Cup matches as well. So we'll be doing a preview for the FA Cup semifinals and also predicting those. So look forward to that on Friday night, people. All right. But that is it for the reveal of the picks. Next order of business before we log off for the night, people, is all my FPL folks. I know you want to see what's going on with the Masters teams. I can't ever call myself the Master. I'm in a third place. No. It's not preview show too. I just was showing you that you won. Yeah. You see it. All right. Big up. BPK Sports with the premiere, But it could be worse. It could have been like Max City, and the first time you play, you get donkey. Hopefully, Max City don't get his confidence broken and he try again. Score predictions for the week games. I probably won't do like no big reveal, but we can just look on them real quick before we go to the FPL. That's all right. Let's see. Premier League. Yeah, cause then basically I count that in a this week, but true me not do the preview show tonight. Brother. I wanna go Premier League. Where I go? Oh, Man City Villa is tomorrow? Damn, I thought both games were Wednesday. That's interesting. Yeah, man. Nitro, you you are almost on the next slide, my bro. Yeah, we can do that. Float said 2-all City Villa. All right. Yeah, this game should be really good enough, people. Telling you the truth. If all right, again, I said this before the last game for City. If anybody, well, this is what they predict. Can anybody predict what lineup this man going to play? 'Cause basically, what SofaScore do is just restart the man they will start the last game, and I can bet you him now do that. Cause this man is a madman. See them start Onana, and then bring back Torres as well, and then bring back Dini as well. So and then bench Watkins. Oh, so this is what him think Emery gonna do. But yeah, if you can predict Man City lineup, you're good. Look, all season long, one of the biggest reasons why Aston Villa they where they are right now and not higher is them game not travel outside of Villa Park, brother. Them not playing nothing like how you see them play Newcastle most of the time when them away. And I don't expect that to change in this game either. Now, one thing I will say, Emery usually have a good plan against Pep. Usually. So let's see. I almost feel like though the Marmoush starting going to be better for City against Villa and them style. The constant movement as opposed to like knowing where somebody gonna be, I think that's gonna be better for City. But yeah, I'm going for City to win. At worst, I'm going to draw. I don't think Villa will go there and beat them. But I'll say 3-2 City. 2-1 or 3-2, one of them. So I write it anyway. So Villa, no. MC, AV. And I'm going to go with the higher score in 3-2. Marmouche hat trick. Can know who have him in the FPL. And then the next game. So, and I'm a predicted lineup for this. Why not? Too far before the game. Journal star. Interesting. All right, so the Gunners game, we are host it, right? Or we are go to Palace. So I go. Okay, we are host it. You know more while we play better upon away, you know, brother. I swear. Arsenal Crystal Palace, them a get bag up, brother. 3 love. Not score nothing. Move up. Float said 2-1 Gunners. So a bonus round this. Red Skull missy picks. Man say, oh, man, nah, I miss this now. I'm have Red Skull column ready to, you know, and actually, you know, need the first show. I go for say, yo, I'm hope Red Skull alright, you know. Because I don't know West Skull there. 2-0. Alright, I'm get your Skull, BBK. Man say redemption time, you know. 2-1. 2-1 City. And 3-1 Arsenal. Clean sheet to my thing. Pristine said 2-1 Villa. Alright, Pristine. Can count on Pristine for just go against the grain. You know, if everybody do one thing, Pristine I go the next thing, you know. Now man, Donkey have to thirsty, brother. Donkey can't go by no river. Donkey have to work. 2-2. So yo, interestingly, you know, the first draw that, you know, and draw was like the first start I had in the City Villa game, you know. Pristine Villa 2-1. Get that already. Pepper go school Emery. We're going to see. 2-0 Villa. I think I'm going to win. I don't know about school, but I'm going to win. 2-0 Villa Apache. So our next person forward now with a Villa score. Question is, all you Reggae Boys fans in the chat, will Leon Bailey be a tactical decision to play this time? And the one said it was a tactical decision for him not to play. So will he play this time? We say him need top 5. But Pep need top 5 too, you know. Oh, Pep go school Emery. Okay. But Emery needed to. Arsenal 2-0. So Pristine now go against the other grade. But the first one. So quick and fast, people. Bailey involved and Bailey involved tomorrow. One thing. I believe him going to be involved, you know. I believe he's going to be involved. Oh, people, before we move on to FPL, it was mentioned earlier in the chat. So I just want to show the table as well. Where I said the writing is on the wall. I think you're right, you know. But you have people have to remember, you know, Asensio and Rashford is loans. So there's no guarantees those players will sign or what they're gonna do. So I know it's looking bleak for him right now, but remember before Asensio and Rashford was there was almost a case where he had to be around because he was one of the only options. So let's see. Rashford I got play. Yeah, but even Skull, even if alright, I say involved, you know. So even if him play, or even if him don't start, like you think him going to at least be on the bench and maybe get a game or what? Alright, so championship people. So first thing more I check, you know, my boy at Luton, as Mr. Cardiff in a last, and them look there, them win 3 out of them last 5. But Luton trying to survive people, 2 wins on the bounce, only 1 loss in them last 5. So that's 8 points from a potential 15. That's good for a relegation team, I would say. And they're right there, people. Their only goal difference separated from Derby. You know, another 3 points somehow in the last 2 games. I think 49 should be safe based on what's going on. Preston nosedive into the finish line. You know, Oxford got a point today, which was big for them. Kind of keep them in that area where a win doesn't just automatically put another team above you. So that was a good move for them. And then Stoke, you know, 50 points. You would have to think, you know, they're definitely safe from Cardiff or Plymouth passing them. But Luton, sad to say, you're going to have to try to find a way to win 3 out of your last 4. Because I think if you get to 49, you just might be safe. You have 2 games left. Obviously, if you get to 52, I think you're more than safe. But if you can get to 49, I'm telling you, I don't know if 47 is going to be enough. You wouldn't want to hope that Derby don't get no more point at all. You really want to jump over Hull City. Now at Hull City we have Casey, and at Oxford we have Greg Lee. So yeah, we don't really want none of them side they go. So at Derby, you know, even though my boy Burton whole side, sorry, Derby. I think Derby have Dejan Brown too. Jano, who born in Jamaica. So I don't know how that youth wouldn't have a passport. I guess it's possible, but in born in Jamaica, so it shouldn't be hard. But yeah, John Star, Derby, Luton, any other team, Preston. Rastafari, I know. So yo, Luton, them are try them best people to stay up. We are pray for them stay up as well. Portsmouth Hayden was brought in to make sure they don't get relegated. Yes, they're safe, 52 points. The likes of Derby and Luton, if they finish with 2 wins, they would be equal on points with Portsmouth. But yeah, I don't think that they both would pass them on goal difference though. Maybe Derby actually, because they do have a better goal difference now. Luton not so much. But yeah, we'll have to see. I mean, 52 points are, you know, up to there, I'd say you're not safe from the drop, but then so many things would have to happen. All these teams would have to get 3 points, which is highly unlikely. So yeah, moving up the table now, Sheffield Wednesday. Those boys over there are safe. Jamal Lowe, Deshaun Bernard get well soon. West Brom, that's where Holgate is. They just fired their manager today, actually, after this lean finish to the season. They have lost 4 of their last 5. Blackburn in 9th position. Pretty much, you know, gonna need to win both games, which they have won their last 3. So they can keep that run going and finish on 68 points. You never know. That could be enough for a playoff push, a playoff spot. Then Blackburn just a win away from Coventry at this point. You know, getting at least level with them on goal difference. Sorry, Millwall and Middlesbrough in that boat. Definitely Middlesbrough in a little better position because their goal difference is already better than Coventry. So if they could get to equal points with them, they would pass them in that regard, and also pass them in the table. And then you have Bristol City on 67. Still not safe. You know, the likes of Blackburn, Middlesbrough, Millwall. If Bristol stays still and they win their last two, they definitely would knock out Bristol out of there. Sunderland, probably pretty much in the playoffs. I mean, mathematically, yes, they cannot be passed. And then you have Sheffield stuck in third, Leeds and Burnley gonna battle it out to see who actually lifts the trophy. 4 wins on the trot for Leeds and a draw. Same for Burnley, but they have won their last 3 games. So it's gonna be a race to that championship trophy. But those two teams will play knowing that they definitely will be in the big showpiece in the Premier League next year. So that is League One. We'll be watching that intently. The last 2 games, Coventry. Let's just take a look at their last 2. So they have Luton, oh my gosh, and Middlesbrough. So yeah, this game right here going to be tough, man. Cause we want Coventry reach the playoffs, so we don't want Luton drop out of the league. So we're supposed to do this. So. What a wicked man. Sheffield United couldn't get it done against Burnley today. The striker version of Tyrese Campbell came off the bench. And then let's also check League One. I know we have some competition, actually a competition named the Unity Cup. And these competitions like League One, Championship, they all end in about 2 weeks, May 3rd. So that just goes to show there's a lot of time there in between if any of these players don't have to deal with a playoffs scenario. Peterborough have a few. They're good, should be done. Barnsley can't make the playoff again. So their bunch, Dexter, John Russell, they'll be free. Stockport have a keeper that don't have no papers though. Charlton, we know, is quite a contingent, or could potentially be. You have Kahim, you have Karai. There are some other potential players in there. Another Tyrese Campbell as well from Charlton. So yeah, there's a lot of players out there. So the Charlton Massive, more than likely, they're going to be a bit busy, all right, trying to get to the champ. But most of these other players should be good, and then so that's what it's looking like right now, people. In the leagues in England. And while we're at it, let's just check Serie A. I think there was a big result. Napoli and Inter now tied. Yes. Napoli won 1-0. But Inter lost to Bologna 1-0. So that was the big result of the weekend in the Serie A. Atalanta wishing they didn't have these 3 losses on the bounce, even if those were, 1 win and a draw and 1 loss. We're talking 71 and 68 points in the top 3, and it's a race. But that's Serie A. Now let's look at La Liga. See if Barcelona was able to extend their lead this weekend. They are still a 4-point gap. Real Madrid did get a goal very late to get the 3 points. Atletico Madrid did well to dispatch, I think it was 4-2, whoever they beat. Wait, they just lost a game? So which game? Didn't Atletico just win a game? Okay, that was the week before. So yeah, this week they lost to Leganes people. Damn. Or Las Palmas, sorry. Real Madrid got the 1-0 and Barca got the 4-3. What a comeback. One of the games of the season in La Liga for sure. Big win. So Barca in the driver's seat now, 4 points clear. Then we have definitely hold the tiebreaker as well, I think. So yeah, it's going to be tough. Bundesliga, not really a race. Bayern Gone 8 points clear now. They have 34 games, so 4 games left. So mathematically still a possibility, but yeah, don't think Bayern will lose enough. So that's probably another title to them. They get it back from Leverkusen after loaning it to them for 1 season. And then Ligue 1, we have PSG running away with it for sure. The race in this one is definitely the top 4 places. And look at that, 51 points all the way down to 7th. Marseille in second with 55. So they have, similar to Germany, 34 games. So these last 4 games are going to be crucial because you can not finish off the season the way you want to and end up in 7th if you don't pay attention to what's going on. 6th gets Conference League qualification, Europa League 5th, Champions League qualification for 4th, and the top 3 automatically go. So Marseille, gonna have to clean up the season properly, bro. For the farm the food right now, they can't end up with Strasbourg there, and all the good works from the season gone. Mason Greenwood been on fire though, people. Every time you look up his goals. Look at this. This is from February 9th. So a penalty, goal, penalty, and a goal. So that's 5 from February to now. Or February 9th to now. So 6 from February to now. Because it's a February 2nd, Marseille Lyon. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yo, this guy is not normal, man. 2 goals. That was at Getafe. So I'm gone 18 and 3 in the league and 1 goal in the cup. Madness. So his highest scoring league season. Actually, not league. His highest scoring season in the league was 10 goals in the Prem. $19.20 in their shot. But yeah, 18 league goals is nice. Maybe you'd like to see the assists go up some more. Man, make team of the week 8 times. So him outperforming him expected goals. That is good. He missed 9 big chance. It's not terrible in our 30 games. Goal conversion 17. Left foot and right foot, no matter which foot. Win 2 penalty. Man, them now finish him chance then. 7 expected assists. Defending. Okay, tackle per game, not bad. Ball recoveries. 1 error leading to shot and 1 error leading to a goal for the season. It's not terrible, 14 and a half for an attacking player like him. It's not terrible. Not the best, but it's not terrible either. Okay, dribbles. I do good in the duels too. 47, not bad. 2 yellows. Behave himself. So 6 for 7 on penalties. A penalty. And them say, I want to count penalty, I want to feel about the penalty them. Don't, can't get a trophy, I can't believe. That's a madness, eh? You, Job, look like him going to be at Chelsea, which we don't want need at the Emirates. Very good box to box. Yeah, you've been talking about Job, But Chelsea need some experience with it, man. One bag of youth them have, you know. Yeah, J-Lo was on the wasn't or was? Yeah, I saw him on the bench today. Yo, them a try, brother. I would have think them relegated already, but them have a real chance to stay up now. The Real Madrid goal. Valverde himself. Man, them give Kane a trophy. No. That man really cursed. Hope England manager find a new striker. See him win a trophy, then maybe it break the hex. I don't know. If him finally win a trophy now, him win the league with Bayern. I can't count that. Yeah, man, Greenwood have moved like a madman from a day. Ever since the coach cussed him and thought about him need more. Bro, oh man missed that golden chance in Champions League. Yeah, I don't know. It was easy. Him scoring in the second leg though. But yeah, that chance in the first half was like a Kane special setup for him. And the man still miss it. But yeah, Mason is going crazy right now, see? But to be honest, you know, it was a good day for a lot of the reggae boys, you know. So we have a lot to talk about in the reasoning time this week. Let me see what I go on this week. So I have tomorrow we have Prem. Wednesday, I wonder, you know, you'll get I do a bonus watch along Wednesday, you know. I do a bonus watch along Wednesday. I don't know. The other day is who? I think it was Football Guru I talked about. I forget which player I was talking about, but I think he was talking about Mason and like saying it's a bag of penalty team scoring and we don't need to go on like the man I do this and that and da 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 da. It was just downplaying everything. But one of his arguments was there's a lot of penalties. And I'm thinking, okay. Like I heard the same thing when we was talking about Ivan Toney. And they were like, he's a penalty, he just takes penalties, you know. But that no matter. Yeah, man, Vert's missing is huge. Yeah, that's huge. That's basically like Arsenal never having soccer. It's the same thing. Like that's the brother way them want on the field for other teams know say, yo, what I have to deal with that brother here, the man I move away. Let me see what else can go on from a fantasy side, people. Look here. Big up I Am Sure Sports League, you know. Yeah, man. So let's get this on the screen. So we have the I Am Sure Sports League. As you can see, I'm in third place. Demo was trying to forward and take the spot, but we tell him for back off this week. So we're going 48 for now. That's a nice little dent we put in at the first place, but I'm sure. Let me see what bad man I go on with. What am I believe? So Dina never play, Timber never play, them probably both play this time. Him start one area which was smart. Him a play again. I think one area going bench though. Him actually give Saka the captaincy. Wow. Okay, so me captain Marmoush, him captain Saka, which could work for him, you know, because from where they are Crystal Palace, I can't see that bag of goal, except for the Bournemouth game. But they had a couple of games where them concede a few, you know. So I don't know, but I think Arsenal right now just them in a good mental state. You know, them feel like them a big side. I don't know if that's the smartest thing to say, but that makes sense to me when we just say. All right, Biggs G, big up yourself. Also, a regular predictor on the show. He's in second place right now, and I'm having assistant manager card and his Arteta. Blood fire. That's not good. At least him bench him. That's good. Captain Marmouche like me. So whatever Marmouche. So the key people, one area can't do nothing in the next game. You know why? Or Asensio for that matter. Because me have No one here in my side. You have Saka, Sar, Munoz, Eight Nori, Saliba, who may never see on either one of them side. Don't think any of them start right either. We have Morgan Rogers, Sar, Marmoush is my captain. Cunha give me the 8. Should I start Harvey Barnes, but so it go. I think Saka going to produce in the next game though. Man get too much chance with them or score in the next game. Or at least assist. So yeah, that is it for the fantasy team. How much points do you think we can get this week? We're going 48 now. We have Marmoush tomorrow and Rogers. And then we have the Arsenal and Palace boys on Wednesday. So what do you guys think? I'm saying I should be able to get about 70 odd, maybe 80 odd. I just need some people to do something, you know? A decent performance from Marmoush would be nice. A nice 10 pointer, 20 pointer, or like a 15, which is 30. Yeah, that would be nice as well. All right, so fantasy draft, is a little different. You can't really all have the same people per our team. So each player is only on one of the teams. So this is my team for draft. I got 68 points already, and we still have some players because we have some double week player. De Bruyne, Kivior, Mitchell, Raya, Rogers, Trossard I picked up this week. What a week to pick up Trossard, man. 16 points, people. Yo, my fantasy draft I go on good, people. I beat my FPL score with my draft team them. How that possible? And this not have no double points for captain or none of them thing there. Watch out. It's some other team, people. Henderson, Kivior, Konate, Ruben, everybody score clean sheet. And I pick up Trossard in the league as well. I couldn't believe nobody not have Trossard in the entire draft. Nobody in the league not have Trossard. I mean, I say, yo, it's like, I don't know what go on now. I Trossard I go take over in the league, man. And see there. I think he's in first brace. He ever scored for hat-trick. I mean, for Arsenal. Couldn't believe it when I heard that stat. I was like, really? I swear I see him forward off the bench and score 2 before. But never happened, people. But anyway, people, the show reached its destination. I've touched all the topics. We even dive into some broader topics as well. But good question in a Red Skull. I'm glad you brought this up because I never give the girls them no time. I tell them good luck. I will never even talk about it tonight. But yeah, I watch the game start. I wake up early and watch it Saturday morning, and I tell you the God honest truth. You see Melky Dumani, she's like a cheat code, bro. The mixture of space and technique and touch. It's not normal. It's not normal, man. It's not normal. And Leon, you could see like the experience really made them win that game there, because even when we get the equalizer from the spot, and we're pressuring them chance after chance, shoulda score, keeper make some big save. Them just make 2 little attack and score 2 goals like it's nothing. Like, I don't know, bro. So yeah, it's gonna be tough. I will say this though, based on the balance of play and how we played, if we can just convert the chance then we have a chance. Because I feel like now another thing too. If Wendy Renard still out, Leon defender, then I feel like we have an even better chance, because I think we can get chances on this team without Wendy, I don't know, man. I don't know if we're going to turn it over. I think Leon experience might do the job for them, bro. And the Dumornay effect and X factor. We just don't have nobody that can really do the type of actions and movements that she does. I think Emily Fox is the most athletic player that we have, because Leah Williams is smart, but she's not fast or strong like Melky, Like Emily Fox is the first person I ever see her run with Melky, like no problem, but just run with you, Yeah, she's athletic too. Yeah, Mason have some rotted goal, brother. If I think City are gonna sign Verts, maybe. Oh, he's his number one priority. Smart guy. Yeah, man. Yo, Harvey Barnes at ready. This celebration perfect theme. The marksman thing. Yeah, man, a theme thing that man. Not marksman, but archer, whatever. Bullseye. Man, they shooting accurate and crossing accurate too. You think Arsenal women? Okay, answer that. I don't know if them going to turn it around, but I can tell you this: Chelsea ain't turning it around against Barca. Can tell you that right now. That ain't happening. Anyhow, people, big up on yourself, you know. Gonna get some rest, people. All I want to tune in for the late night show. Big up on yourself, all who pass through. I will be back, as I said, people. I'll probably bring you guys some bonus watch along coverage on Wednesday, the Arsenal Crystal Palace game. And then at some point in those couple of days, you can definitely see a reasoning time episode talk about all the latest news when it comes down to reggae girls, reggae boys, Jamaican football in general. Maybe have a little JPL segment as well, since we're going closer to the playoffs. Give you my predictions for that. So yeah, look out for all kinds of different content this week. But just to give you the layout, definitely Wednesday you're gonna get a bonus. You're gonna get a bonus. Wait, name there. A bonus EPL watch along. I will probably be doing the watch along for the Arsenal game on Wednesday. Also, probably on Thursday, you'll see another episode of Reasoning Time. I'll go ahead and put some topics out and try to get that thumbnail up a little before the time so people can kind of get ready for it so we can view that one. That's always a good one to be here live and be a part of the conversation so you can hear the discussion in real time. Of course, the watch along or the watch back is also available. But yeah, something like that sometimes is really good to be in the building and get your points across right there in the moment. So look out for that on the thumbnail side of things. And then, of course, Friday, we will get into the preview and predictions of the next set of fixtures. And remember, since we didn't really include the tomorrow game and the Wednesday game in anything, we will just to make up the numbers for the weekend, because it's only 8 games in the Premier League. We'll add the 2 FA Cup games to make up the numbers. So we'll have 10 full games to pick. All right, people. So that is the plan moving forward. So yeah, I will be back on Wednesday, more than likely, unless you get lucky and you see a nighttime stream tomorrow. But I don't believe that will be the case. But I will try to put up the thumbnail early enough so you guys can kind of prep a little bit before we go live. All right, people. Well, big up again and thanks for the support. My name is Jason Gooner. This is Jason Gooner TV. And around this time, on these channels or on this program, I should say, we say this. Come on, you Gooners.